Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Today we're going to continue with a short review of, first we're going to talk about page 74 of the Pupils book on the euro. And then the next video, I'm going to do a little review on the whole unit, okay? So let's start with page 74. So this page is basically about the euro and the adoption of the euro by the European Union and the countries that make up the European Union. So, like we talked about in the last video, one of the biggest achievements of the European Union was the creation of the single market, which basically means that countries that are part of the European Union can sell their products in other countries that are also part of the European Union. So, for example, someone in Spain who sells oranges or grows oranges can sell those oranges in France, in Germany, in Denmark, in Italy, in Greece, in Hungary, without there being a high cost of doing business in those countries. Why? Because they're all part of the same union. But for example, if a farmer in Valencia wants to sell his oranges in the United States, it's more expensive, there's more bureaucracy, there's more paperwork, they have to go through a lot of barriers. Why? Because they're two completely different markets in two different countries. But that farmer can sell his oranges in Portugal, in Germany, and France very easily and not very expensive because it's part of the single market, okay? And also being part of the single market in the European Union means that you can use the euro, okay? So the euro was basically adopted before. Here in Spain, they had pesetas. In Italy, I think they had francs, they were called. And what happened is that when they adopted, they became part of the European Union, they adopted the euro. So for example, if I'm a tourist from Spain and I want to go to Paris for the weekend, I don't have to go to an exchange house and change my pesetas to francs, right? And what happens is a lot of times the value of those currencies are different. One of them is higher than the other or more expensive and the other one's more cheaper. So when you exchange money, you lose a lot of money in the process and it's just not convenient. But now I can go to Paris for the weekend and I don't even have to exchange money because I can use my euros that I earn in Spain. I can spend them in France and it's going to be the same value. So that's good for business, that's good for people, and it's good for the economy. Also, another very important aspect of the European Union is that, let's say I was born in Spain and I get a job offer in Berlin. Before the European Union, I would have to apply for a work visa in Germany. I would have to go through all this bureaucratic immigration paperwork in order to get that work permit to work in Germany. But since Spain and Germany are part of the European Union, in both countries, their citizens are citizens of the European Union. I don't need a work visa if I were Spanish. I'm not Spanish, but if I were Spanish, I wouldn't need a work visa to go work in Berlin. Why? Because I'm a European citizen. So I could just work there, I could live there. You don't need a visa to travel throughout the European Union. There's no borders between countries. You can just go from country A to country B. And that is a huge advantage. That's a huge privilege that as an American, someone who is outside the European Union system, looking inside, I think it's great. And I think a lot of people take it for granted. But I think it's a huge privilege of being part of the European Union. So that's a little review on page 74. If you have any questions, please let me know.